Okay, so our topic now is about the digestive system. So, first and foremost, our digestive system is classified into two major groups. Number one, you have your alimentary canal, which refers or is otherwise referred to as your GIT or gastrointestinal tract. And the second one are those that belongs to the accessory divisions. So duha, no? Number one is the major, which is the alimentary canal. And the second one pertains to the accessory digestive organs. But before that, no, let's try to run down on the basic functions of the digestive system. What are the functions of your digestive system? Starting with number one, it is responsible for the ingestion of food. So we take in food by way of mouth. However, we could do some nursing procedures so that we could provide food or nourishment to people who are, let's say, comatose. So kung comatose ka, how can they ingest food? Saon man na nato. So other methods would be by way of NGT feeding or nasogastric tube feeding. Atong buhaton ana class is atong isulod sa ilong, lahos dito padulong sa tiyan. Or we can have our intestinal tubings or ngari sa tiyan mismo ang tubo. Okay? So ang atong buhaton din ha is naatay osterized food or kanang gi-blender gani nga food and then atong i-administer dito. Simply because they have ingestion problems. So kana no, very common din ha atong mga comatose patient or patients who are not yet fully awake, because when people who are not yet fully awake tries to ingest food, there is always that risk for aspiration. So delikado kayo. So instead of forcing them to eat, no, by way of mouth, then we can administer even medications. And of course, your food by way of your nasogastric tubing or intestinal tubing. But under normal conditions, of course, ingestion is by way of mouth. So in the mouth, that is where mastication happens or the chewing of the food happens. It's important that for food to be absorbed by the bloodstream, they have to be converted first from its complex structure to later becoming simple structure. In short, there is no absorption unless and until the food has been converted into its simple forms. Okay, so to do that, we always start with the ingestion process where mastication happens. And of course, in the mouth as well, food is being mixed up with saliva. And the saliva there, class, actually contains amylase. Now, if you remember amylase, para unsa to, your amylase is responsible for the digestion of carbohydrates. Meaning to say, our digestion of carbohydrates begin at the mouth. Okay, so ingestion. So again, as I was saying, for the nutrients from food to be absorbed by the body, they have to be digested first from a bigger molecule to a smaller molecule. Okay, so that explains, class, no, which would be more beneficial to a patient or a person with diabetes, for example, or which would be beneficial to a person who is trying to lose weight. Unsa may atong i-advise nga kind of food? Would it be simple carbohydrates or complex carbohydrates? Asa may mas maayo ana ka, class? So the answer to that is it's better to take in complex carbohydrates. Unsa may mga examples sa complex carbohydrates? You have oat, wheat, no, cereals, or mga high fiber foods. No, anything which has fiber is actually carbohydrate rich. Okay, and because they are complex, they do not get digested easily. Ug i-compare na nimo siya og simple carbohydrates kas kana mga desserts, mga cake, ice cream, chocolates, kana sila, they are simple candies, they are simple carbohydrates. Mao bitaw gutomon mo. So pwede ra mo mag crackers, pwede ra mo mag candy, mawawa gamay ang gutom, no? If you're hungry, you grab a Snickers. Ingon anab na, di ba? So it can actually resolve your hunger at the very moment because rapid man ang digestion nila. Very fast ang digestion process because they are simple carbohydrates. But ang downside anang simple carbohydrates class is that at once, madigest ni mo siya, unya ang resulta na is at a certain moment of time, taas kayo ang imuhang blood sugar. So musaka imong blood sugar because they are all digested at once. Meaning sa usa ka higayon, pag digest nimo ana, release dayon ka glucose. So perting taas sa imuhang glucose. And you cannot consume that glucose at that specific instance. Meaning to say, kung nikaon kag Snickers for example, so the amount of glucose that was rapidly or very fast ng iyang metabolism and digestion was, let's say, naabot og 1,000. But for a certain period, you only require, let's say, 50 calories. No, 1,000 calories ang gi-provide ni Snickers, for example. And at that very instance, you only require 50 calories only. So what happens to the 950 calories? They become stored in the body in the form of fats. Mo nang mutambok mo, no? Mo nang mutambok ta apil ko. So ang effect ana class is mudako gid ka. Whereas if ang imuhang i-take is complex carbohydrate, lisod man siya i-digest. Having said that, lisod siya i-digest, slow ang iyang release of glucose into the blood. So slowly ang iyang pag-release. Meaning kung kaon ka og high fibrous foods, ang glucose nga i-release is small ra, pero prolonged, no? Dugay pero hinay-hinay. So as it releases the glucose there, you are also consuming it at that particular instance. Okay? So let's say nikaon ka og kanang oatmeal, 1,000 calories ang content ana niya for example, but 1,000 calories is not released at once. So 50-50, na 50-50. So while nagsige siya release, nagsige man pud ka gamit. So question, has there been an opportunity to have an excess of calories at a given time? Di ba wala? So wala ma-convert into fats. Okay? So it's better to have complex carbohydrates compared to simple carbohydrates. Okay? So that's for ingestion. Another function class is your digestion. This refers to the breaking down of food into nutrient molecules. No, you convert food into smaller process. Okay, and digestion happens in the stomach. And remember, it also happens in the mouth. Okay, and it proceeds with the small intestine. Na ang hapon digestion dito. No, but mostly class, the kind of digestion that happens in the mouth and in the stomach, these are mechanical or physical digestion of foods. The chemical digestion of food begins at the small intestine. Okay? Dito na sa small intestine ang imuhang chemical digestion. Why? Because it is only where, or it is only upon the small intestine where ang imuhang amylase, lipase, and trypsin, these are your pancreatic juices, dito masikrit. No? Dito masikrit. Remember, whenever there are foods in the small intestine, the pancreas would contract. Yeah, as it contracts, no, it would secrete the pancreatic juices, katong tulo, trypsin, amylase, lipase, through the pancreatic duct. So, gikan sa pancreas, padulong sa pancreatic duct, from the pancreatic duct, sulod ka sa imuhang ampulla of Vater, then ampulla of Vater, sphincter of Oddi, and eventually small intestine. So again, asa to? Pancreas. Number 2, pancreatic duct. Number 3, ampulla of Vater. Number 4, through the sphincter of Oddi. And number 5, into the small intestines. Okay? So kanang 5 ka process. So pagsulod dito sa small intestines, dinha pa ma-chemically digest ang imuhang protein, carbohydrates, and fats with the use of amylase, lipase, and trypsin. So I hope you remember, no, nga trypsin is for protein, lipase is for fat, and amylase is for carbohydrates. So in summary class, no, in summary, ang physical digestion or mechanical digestion happens where? In the mouth and in the stomach. But your chemical digestion begins when? No? At the small intestines, because it is that portion where your chemical reagents required for chemical digestion are secreted. First by the pancreas, through the pancreatic duct, then to your ampulla of Vater, sphincter of Oddi, and eventually into the small intestine. Okay. Next class is absorption. So, absorption happens, class, in the intestines. Okay. Kani klaro ha? Ang absorption, class, will only happen at the portion of the intestines. When we talk about small intestine, dinha ang absorption of nutrients. But when we talk about large intestine, dinha po ang absorption of fluids. Okay? So, ang nutrients are to small intestine, while water or fluids are reabsorbed at the level of the large intestine. So that explains, class, no? When we have problems with constipation, constipated gani, ang usa ka tao, atong ma-advise din sa patient is increase oral fluids para mo soft ang stool. Okay? Mas soft ang stool, mas dali siyang i-pass out. Okay? We encourage them to take foods which are high in fiber. We encourage them to increase physical activity. Why? Because with an increase in physical activity, there is a corresponding increase in peristalsis. Ang peristalsis, class, is the wave-like movement of the GIT so that the food passes in a downward motion. So pagkaon mo, ang food manaog paubos. You call that your peristaltic wave. Okay? So how do you increase your peristaltic wave? You increase it with physical activity. Because take note, in the absence of peristalsis, there is also no bowel movement. Okay? In fact, class, naatay certain condition. We call it as Hirschsprung's disease. Isa man ang Hirschsprung's disease. It is that condition where a certain portion of the bowel or a certain portion of the intestine, specifically ang imuhang sigmoid colon, specifically dinha nga portion, wala kay nerve endings. Specifically, mga autonomic nervous system. Okay? So kung wala kay autonomic nervous system nga nerves dinha sa imong sigmoid colon, it follows that there is also no peristaltic wave. And in the absence of peristaltic wave, there is no bowel movement. I want you to remember na peristalsis gani, is it voluntary or involuntary? I would say involuntary. No, you don't tell your intestines nga, oy, lihok, oy, intestines, contract. You don't tell your intestines to do that. It happens on its own. So meaning autonomic. So kinahanglan para na ay autonomic function, dapat naapod kay autonomic nervous system din dapita. Ang problema sa Hirschsprung's disease, wala kay autonomic nerves din sa maepekto. Walay contraction, walay peristalsis. And in the absence of peristalsis, it follows nga wala pud kay bowel movement. Okay? So again, unsa toy mga methods or advice nga atong mahatag sa patients with constipation? Number 1, increase oral fluid. Number 2, increase intake of foods rich in fiber. Number 3, increase physical activity, because physical activity, as you know, will also increase your peristaltic wave. Unsa tong peristalsis? The movement of the intestine. Voluntary, involuntary? Involuntary. Na ay portion nga walay nerve endings, walay peristalsis. So kung walay peristalsis, then walay bowel movement pud ka diha. You call that condition as Hirschsprung's disease. Okay? In fact, class, kung usa ka bata na ay Hirschsprung's disease, usually magpa-check up na sila, class, kay 2 or 3 weeks wa gyud malibang ang bata ba. No? No bowel movement in a span of 2 or 3 weeks. So ang buhaton no, sa doktor is kuoton ang lubot sa bata, no? We call that a rectal exam. So pag rectal exam class, inikuot nimo dito sa lubot kung tinuod gyud na siya nga case of constipation, no? If this is indeed a true case of constipation, pag kuot nimo maka-feel man ka og hard mass, no? Na ay impacted stool dito, na ay gahi nga stool. So meaning to say, indeed the bata is constipated. So matambalan na nato hatag tag laxative, stool softeners, no? Mga ingon Mahatagan na to sila ingon anak nga klase nga mga tambal para makalibang ang bata kung constipation. Pero kung pagkuot nimo class 2 or 3 weeks wa kalibang ang bata, pagkuot nimo, uy, wala may sulod, wala kay ma-feel nga hard mash. So kung wala kay ma-feel nga hard mash, meaning to say this is not a case of true constipation, but rather a case of Hirschsprung's disease. So opposite la sa kita ninyo ha. Ang usa Hirschsprung's, ang usa constipation. Sa constipation pagkuot nimo na ay gahi. Pero sa Hirschsprung's disease pagkuot nimo oy bakante. So kung bakante Hirschsprung's disease di ay ito. So sa may buhato na to ana, putlon to na to. We remove that portion which does not have the nerve endings and we reconnect. So the procedure is called removal and anastomosis. This is also called as your pull-through procedure. Okay? Pull-through procedure. So that's for Hirschsprung's disease. So let's go back. No? In cases of constipation, number 1, increase oral fluids. Number 2, intake of foods rich in fiber. Number 3, increase physical activity. And very important class, remember number 4, you should maintain a regular bowel movement. Okay? Every day yun ka dapat na ay bowel movement. Why? Let's go back to the functions, no? In terms of absorption. Remember, the absorption of nutrients falls on the shoulders of the small intestine. But the absorption of fluid is the responsibility of the large intestine. Meaning to say, the longer and longer period that the stool would have to stay at the large intestine, more and more water gets reabsorbed. Now, more and more water gets reabsorbed. So, sa may epekto ana, okay? Because more and more water has been reabsorbed, then the stool becomes harder and harder, bringing more problems of constipation. Okay? So, importante, dapat na akay regular bowel movement so that the stool does not stay for a long period at the large intestine where more and more water gets reabsorbed. Okay? So ingestion, digestion, absorption, and number 4, fourth function is defecation. Okay? Or defecation refers to the excretion of indigestible waste. Okay? So when you take in food, we only get the nutrients out of it. Any other waste are excreted by way of defecation. Okay? So functions of the digestive system. Now, when we talk about the digestive system, we actually refer to duha ka main groups. Number 1, alimentary canal. And number 2, the accessory digestive organs. The alimentary canal is otherwise known as your gastrointestinal tract, which runs from the mouth going to the anus. Ba padung sa lubot. Now, are these alimentary canal structures internal or external? They are actually external because as you see, both ends have direct contact with the external environment. Imong baba, imong lubot. Okay? They are actually external. No? Then accessory digestive organs such as the teeth, the tongue, and several large digestive organs, just like your liver, gallbladder, and your pancreas. Class, these are accessory digestive organs, not accessory organs. Lahi na, no? Yung accessory organ, mga organ nga dili kaayo gamit, no? But ang liver, importante kaayo. Gallbladder, importante kaayo. Pancreas, importante kaayo. But in the eyes of the digestive system, they are merely accessory. No? Meaning to say, even without them, or the absence of a single accessory organ, does not deprive you of nutrition na aghihapon. Let's say, malfunctional imuhang liver. Can you still function? Ang imong digestive system? Yes, pwede gihapon. Because as regards to digestive system, ang concern sa imuhang liver is only up to the level of the excretion of bile. So, kung ano walay liver na may gallbladder? But we're talking here about digestive system, ha? The digestive system can still pursue even in the absence of these accessory structures. Let's say, wa kay gallbladder. Wala na by digestion. Kung wala yung gallbladder, naagi hapon because you have the liver. Okay? If wala kay teeth, naabag hapon digestion, naagi hapon. Pwede gyapon. Okay? So, accessory in the sense that they are not that important as compared to the other structures, or they are not part of the continuous system of the digestive system. That's why we call them as accessory. Okay. Now, when we talk about the digestive system, we start with number 1, the mouth. After the mouth, we go to the pharynx. So when we talk about the pharynx class, okay, we actually refer to 3 different portions. Now let me show you something. Okay, so kung imong tanawon, this is your pharynx. No? The pharynx, you have the nasopharynx, oropharynx, laryngopharynx. Okay, sa naso, ikan sa ilong, hangin, musulod, padulong sa oropharynx, laryngopharynx, diretso sa windpipe or sa trachea. Okay, if you eat food, food enters the mouth, okay, then to the oropharynx, then to the laryngopharynx, and then to the esophagus. Okay, ingon ana ang flow sa food. Okay, mouth, oro, laryngo, then esophagus. Pero kung hangin, it's from the naso to the nasopharynx or mouth to the oropharynx. Then you go to the windpipe or trachea. Okay? So, for this class, for you to appreciate this, okay, ang purmaan ng trachea is murag tubo, no? Nakaingon ana. Okay? Nakaana ang tubo. Now, next to that is a flap of tissue. We call this as your epiglottis. So, nag-ana ang imong epiglottis. Okay? Every time you swallow, class, every time you swallow food, this trachea actually moves forward. Okay? It moves forward so that it becomes covered by the epiglottis. Para ang food na imong iswallow does not go to the trachea. Okay? Everyone, touch your boys, touch your Adam's apple, while girls touch your neck. Okay? And try to swallow. Do you feel your trachea actually moving? Diba? You actually feel your trachea moving. It means, class, that every time you swallow, ang imong trachea will have to move forward. So as it moves forward, matakuban siya sa imuhang epiglottis. So when you swallow, it moves forward and the food proceeds, no? The food proceeds here, okay? So when you swallow, mouth, here, from the mouth, because this one here is covered, okay? The food proceeds rather going to this portion. Okay? So inigtulon nimo dili siya moadto sa trachea. Kaya ang imong trachea ni abante man, ni move forward man siya, nakaberan man siya. But under normal conditions where you are not swallowing, either air passes through the nose or the mouth. Okay? Pag sulod sa air, diretso ra na siya sa larynx because the larynx is open. So tanan sulod ito. Pero kung mo swallow ka, it moves forward. Okay? So naay usahay nga masipyat mao nang naay masudipan. Ha? Naay ma-aspirate ang tawag ana. Okay? So sorry, I forgot to bring my writing pad. I'll just try, no? So here, oops. You're still seeing my screen, class, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So here, class, you start with number 1, your mouth. Okay. So at the mouth, you have there your teeth, which actually is responsible for the chewing process. You have your tongue there, which mixes food with the saliva, and the salivary glands for the secretion of saliva. What chemical is present in the saliva? You have your amylase, and your amylase is responsible for the digestion of initial digestion of carbohydrates. Okay, the food present in the mouth is what we call as your bolus. Okay, so food found in the mouth is called your bolus. Next, it proceeds to the pharynx. Remember, class, that when we talk about pharynx, there are three different kinds. You have your nasal, you have your laryngo, and you also have your oral. Okay, nasal, laryngo, and oral. Which of these three is common to both your respiratory and digestive system? Tanawa to, class. Asa may common nila? Si naso, si oro, or si laryngo? It is your laryngo. Okay? So your laryngopharynx is common to both your respiratory and to your digestive. Meaning to say, whether it's air or it's food, it has to go through this portion, lower portion of the pharynx, which is your laryngopharynx. Okay? Then you have your number 3, you have your esophagus. I want you to remember, class, that when you talk about esophagus, there are actually 2 different sphincters there. Okay? There are 2 sphincters that covers your esophagus. You have your upper esophageal sphincter, and you also have your lower esophageal sphincter. The lower esophageal sphincter, class, is otherwise called as your cardiac sphincter. Okay? The lower esophageal sphincter is also called as your cardiac sphincter because of its location. Ang imuhang lower esophageal sphincter is immediately next to the heart. Tapad ra gyud na sila. Such that whenever there is an irritation, an irritation at the lower esophageal sphincter area, ang resulta ana, you would have a burning sensation, which is experienced or described as a heart attack. Mura pud ka gi-atake. So we call that as your pseudo heart attack. No? So ito, pseudo heart attack. Okay? That's actually because of the burning sensation sa imuhang esophagus because of the regurgitation of the food from the stomach to the esophagus. Okay? Di ba, esophagus, onya, stomach dayon, ang sulod sa stomach is highly acidic, makapaso. So kung ang imuhang lower esophageal sphincter, mo open siya, katong imuhang acidic gastric contents, mo regurgitate, mo saka. So pag saka ana niya, ang imuhang esophagus does not have the parietal walls present in the stomach. So you will sense as if there is an irritation or a burning sensation in that area. We call that condition as your gastroesophageal reflux disease. Okay? Gastroesophageal reflux disease. Okay? Next to the esophagus, class, is your stomach. Okay? What are the different major divisions of the stomach? You have your fundus, or the head of the stomach. Then you have your corpus, or the body, and you have your pylorus, okay, or the tail end of your stomach. Okay. As food enters into the stomach, it must not go back to the esophagus. Ngayon, di man siya mo balik sa esophagus because you have your lower esophageal sphincter. Naaman kay gatekeeper dito. Problema lang kung mo-weak ang imuhang lower esophageal sphincter or taas siya ang imuhang pressure sulod sa tiyan. Taas imong intra-abdominal pressure, so mas naa siya tendency nga mo backflow padung sa imong esophagus. So mo na natay burning sensation. Okay? And the food inside the stomach cannot also proceed immediately to the small intestine because of your pylorus. Okay? Your pylorus, class, has a sphincter there. Okay? Ang pylorus na ana siya sphincter. You call that sphincter as your pyloric sphincter. Ang imong pyloric sphincter, gamay ra gyud kay na siya buslot. Okay? Meaning to say, tungod sa iyang kagamay, katong na-digest na sa imong stomach physically, nga gamay gyud kaayo, mao ra toy makalusot padulong sa imong small intestine. Because remember, after the stomach, you have the small intestine. Okay? After the stomach, you have the small intestine. Meaning to say, ang Ang contents of the stomach that proceeds to the small intestine are only those structures which are too small to pass through the very small pyloric sphincter. And tungod sa iyahang kanaro class, naa siya tendency nga ma-occlude, ma-obliterate, or mabara, no? Na either because of thickening of the pyloric region or the narrowing of your pyloric sphincter, musira. Okay? And this condition is what we call as pyloric stenosis. Okay? Pyloric stenosis class, no, is that condition where the contents of the stomach cannot proceed to the small intestine because of a narrowing of the pyloric sphincter or the thickening of the walls of the pyloric muscle. Okay? So unsa may resulta ana, ang imong bata magsige kaon. Pag sige niya kaon, mabusog ba ang bata? Okay? Feeling niya mabusog pero ang iyahang body dili nourished. Ano man, di man maka-proceed towards the cells ang iyahang nutrients. Kay remember, absorption happens at the small intestine. And when you have obstruction at the pyloric region, then foods cannot proceed from the stomach to the small intestine. So man malnourished ang imuhang bata. Unya ini kapuno na sa iyahang tiyan kay busog kayo ang bata, musuka og kusog ang imuhang bata. We call that as projectile vomiting. Okay? Projectile vomiting is characteristic of your pyloric stenosis. Suka nga perting kusuga. Okay? Then we proceed to the small intestine. The small intestine, class, as I've said, it is responsible for the absorption of your nutrients. And the small intestine is divided into duodenum, jejunum, and you have your ileum. Okay? So these are the major divisions of your small intestine. Again, class, what separates the esophagus from your stomach? What separates them? You have your lower esophageal sphincter. What separates the stomach to the small intestine? You have your pyloric sphincter. Okay? From the small intestine, you proceed to the large intestine. The layers of the large intestine are, you have your cecum, appendix, colon, then you have your rectum. Okay? Cecum, appendix, colon, and then rectum. Okay? As you see, what differentiates or what divides the small intestine from the large intestine? It is your, okay, you call that your ileocecal valve. From the word ileum, okay, from the word ileum and from the word cecum. So tunga-tunga siya, nag-divide sa imong ileum and cecum is the ileocecal valve. And your colon, class, okay? Your colon actually has 4 divisions or 4 angles. What are the 4 angles of the colon? You have there your, are the 4 angles. You have your, start with saka, ascending, transverse, descending, sigmoid. Again, ascending, transverse, descending, sigmoid. Okay? And this sigmoid portion, class, is the one that is affected by your Hirschsprung's disease. Hirsch-SCH. Sprung's disease. Okay? Hirschsprung's disease is the absence of your autonomic nervous system at the level of the sigmoid colon. Okay? So essentially, mao to imuhang alimentary canal. Okay? And you have your mouth there. So in the mouth, be able to distinguish between the hard and the soft palate. The hard palate is anterior, while the soft palate is posterior. Okay? And connected to the soft palate is a dangling tissue called as your uvula. Okay? Then the space between the lip and the gum, we call that your vestibule. Then the tongue should remember where is the sensation for sweet, where is the sensation for bitter. Okay? So essentially, class, those are the major anatomical features and functions of your gastrointestinal tract.